So now we will discuss a summary of Chapter 3, entitled Network Protocols and Communications. More and more, it is networks that connect us. People communicate online from everywhere. Conversations in classrooms spill into instant message chat sessions and online debates continue at school. New services are being developed daily to take advantage of the network. Rather than developing unique and separate systems for the delivery of each news service, the network industry as a whole has adopted a developmental framework that allows designers to understand current network platforms and maintain them. At the same time, this framework is used to facilitate the development of new technologies to support future communications needs and technology enhancements. Central to this developmental framework is the use of generally accepted models that describe network rules and functions. Within this chapter, we will learn about these models as well as the standards that make networks work and how communication occurs over a network. So, communication fundamentals. A network can be as complex as devices connected across the internet or as simple as two computers directly connected to another with a single cable and anything in between. Networks can vary in size, shape, and function. However, simply having a wired or wireless physical connection between end devices is not enough to enable communication. For communication to occur, devices must know how to communicate. People exchange ideas using many different communication methods. However, regardless of the method chosen, all communication methods have three elements in common. The first of these elements is the message source or sender. Message sources are people or electronic devices that need to send a message to other individuals or devices. The second element of communication is the destination or receiver of the message. The destination receives the message and interprets it. A third element, called the channel, consists of the media that provides the pathway over which the message travels from source to destination. Communication begins with a message or information that must be sent from a source to a destination. The sending of this message, whether by face-to-face communication or over a network, is governed by rules called protocols. These protocols are specific to the type of communication method occurring. In our day-to-day personal communication, the rules we use to communicate over one medium like a telephone call are not necessarily the same as the protocols for using another medium such as sending a letter. For example, consider two people communicating face-to-face. Prior to communicating, they must agree on how to communicate. If the communication is using voice, they must first agree on the language. Next, when they have a message to share, they must be able to format that message in a way that is understandable. For example, if someone uses the English language but poor sentence structure, the message can easily be misunderstood. Each of these tasks describe protocols put in place to accomplish communication. This is also true to the computer communication. Many different rules or protocols govern all methods of communication that exist in the world today. So, for the human communication, we have the message or the message source to the signal or the transmitter to the transmission medium to the signal or the receiver, and the receiver will receive the message. Computer communication. Message source or the message to the transmitter, the signal through the transmission medium to the receiver, and the message will be received. So the summary, data networks are systems of end devices, intermediary devices, and the media connecting them. For communication to occur, these devices must know how to communicate. These devices must comply with communication rules and protocols. TCP or IP is an example of a protocol suite. Most protocols are created by a standards organization such as the IETF or IEEE. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers is a professional organization for those in the electrical engineering and electronics fields. ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization, is the world's largest developer of the international standards for a wide variety of products and services. The most widely used networking models are the OSI and TCP or IP models. Associating the protocols that set the rules of data communications with the different layers of these models is useful in determining which devices and services are applied at a specific points as data passes across LANs and WANs. Data that passes down the stack of the OSI model is segmented into pieces and encapsulated with addresses and other labels. The process is reversed as the pieces are de-encapsulated and passed up the destination protocol stack. The OSI model describes the processes of encoding, formatting, segmenting, and encapsulating data for transmission over the network. The TCP or IP protocol suite is an open standard protocol that has been endorsed by the networking industry and ratified or approved by a standards organization. The Internet Protocol Suite is a suite of protocols required for transmitting and receiving information using the Internet. Protocol data units or the PDUs are named according to the protocols of the TCP or IP suite: data, segment, packet, frame, and bits. Applying models allows individuals, companies, and trade associations to analyze current networks and plan the networks of the